Recording in progress. Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Because I might forget it in the end. I forget this, then I'm gonna send.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. We're just waiting for everyone to join the meeting. Good morning, colleagues. I would just like to check, Babalwa, do we have quorum yet? I see there are still members joining.
Good morning, Chair. Yes, we do have a quorum. You can start a meeting.
Excellent. Thank you, Babalwa. Good morning, everybody. This morning we have a more, let's call it an internal meeting. The department, etc., are not part of the discussions today. We have the consideration and adoption of the committee BRRRs for SAPS, IPID, as well as the CSPS. Let's start by asking whether we can adopt the agenda.
That's fine. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Barnard. Can I have a second to that? Honourable Schikkerling?
I second that motion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And the Honourable Muela, I think, whispered.
I was also going to second the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Honourable Muela. We then move to adopt the agenda. Babalwa, do we have any apologies today?
Yes, Chair, I received 2 apologies from Rev Mesha and Ms. Matisse will join the meeting later.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. I'm not going to make any broad opening remarks or anything. I want to move directly to the consideration and the adoption of the relevant report. So just for the sake of a little bit of change, maybe we can someone start with IPID or CSPS, if Babalwa and Nicolette can flight that for us, and then we'll follow with the other departments. All right. Colleagues, if you are comfortable, I assume everyone has gone through this. So you will see that it is the report that was sent to every member of the committee. And this obviously follows after our marathon meeting last week. In terms of IPID and all the other departments, we will scan through the observations. I see the message of Honourable Ghana saying it needs to go at 9:30. That's 100% Honourable Ghana. Thank you for letting us know. So if we can move to the observations and just scan through there, after which we are going to work through the recommendations to make sure that we have covered everything. You'd remember that last week during specifically IPID, we expressed, and I'm going to read just the first paragraph, serious concern about the high number of cases that were recorded as no steps taken following IPID recommendations. They cautioned that the prevalence of such outcomes reflects a systemic failure of SAPS to act on the Directorate's findings and thereby undermining accountability. Obviously, that undermines the capacity and the role of IPID. Nicolette, you can scroll through. I want to invite the members that if there is something in the observations that you noted that may have been missed, please just tell us. Then when we move to recommendations, and these I'm going to go through to make sure we have every single recommendation that was made by the members. The first one, 8.1, is referring to recommendations to National Treasury. 1.1 is National Treasury must ensure that the Directorate is provided with adequate funding to sustain core investigative capacity, including forensic support, quality assurance, and digital case tracking tools to improve investigation, turnaround times, and reporting accuracy. National Treasury should, in consultation with the Directorate, provide targeted funding for backlog reduction initiatives, including the digitization of case files and integration of IPID's case management systems with those of SAPS and the MPA. 8.1.3 is the committee further recommends that National Treasury review and, where appropriate, adjust IPID's baseline allocation to reflect its evolving mandate, ensuring that funds are redirected towards serious cases and institutional capacity building. In terms of the department specifically, the Directorate must strengthen coordination with SAPS and the SCPS to ensure that adverse recommendations made by IPID are implemented consistently and proportionately. The committee recommends that the Minister consider policy or legislative amendments to align SAPS's disciplinary framework with IPID's findings, while upholding fair and procedurally just processes for implicated officers. The Directorate must strengthen its engagement with the MPA. The Directorate must, through the Minister of Police, ensure that SAPS is held accountable for the implementation of disciplinary sanctions. IPID must fast-track the implementation of its strategic repositioning plan to clear the backlog of investigations within 2 to 4 years, ensuring that refocusing of its mandate on priority offences such as deaths in custody, torture, rape, and corruption. The Directorate should enhance its quality assurance systems and investigator training to ensure that statements, evidence collection, and dockets meet prosecutorial standards, thereby reducing the number of declined or withdrawn cases. While the committee supports the Directorate's strategic repositioning to focus on priority offences such as deaths in custody, torture, and corruption, the removal of common assault and firearm discharge cases from IPID's investigative mandate must be accompanied by appropriate safeguards to prevent the escalation of and normalization of excessive force during arrests. We recommend as a committee that the Minister, in consultation with the Directorate and SAPS, establish clear referral protocols, monitoring mechanisms, and reporting obligations to ensure that all use of force incidents are properly reported, investigated, and subject to independent review where warranted. 8.2.8, the Directorate must enhance its monitoring and reporting mechanisms to capture and track incidents involving unidentifiable police officers, including those operating with face coverings or without visible name tags during arrests and public order operations. 8.2.9, the committee recommends that the Directorate, in consultation with CSPS and SAPS, strengthen protocols and safeguards to protect IPID witnesses and investigators. The Minister, at 8.2.10, the Minister must expedite the appointment of a permanent executive director to ensure that leadership stability and continuity in strategic oversight and institutional governance. The committee requests that the department report to Parliament within 6 months of the tabling of this report on the progress made in implementing the recommendations contained herein. Colleagues, can we move to adopt the report as is? Remember, you can reserve your right as well. And then start with the Honourable Schikkerling.
Good morning, Chairperson. I hope everybody is well. Let me just greet everybody again. Chair, we are in agreement with the document. However, we reserve our right regarding the budget. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Schikkerling. From the other parties, members. colleagues from the ANC and from RISE.
We support, Chair.
Morning.
ANC.
Honorable Muela, I just thought the Honorable Mbio's voice broke, but I'm glad
Yeah,
you
I
support.
logged off. We're traveling together, so I just want to register our support as the ANC to the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Muela. Then the Honorable Ghana.
Happy with the report, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ghana. We can then move on to the next report. Thank you, Nicolette, for the flighting of that. If we can go to CSPS. We can go straight to the observations. Colleagues, I'm just going to scroll through the observations again, and then we will go to the recommendations in more detail. I'm going to read the first paragraph of the observations as an introduction. Members welcome progress on the ICVPS and the Secretariat's increased coordination within the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security cluster. But they expressed concern that the CSPS remains largely unknown at community level. It was argued that the Secretariat must play a more prominent role in police community engagement platforms, such as Imbizos, where it can interact directly with citizens and assess service delivery challenges. In response, the Secretariat reported that the Secretariat participates in all SAPS Imbizos and community safety engagements and has expanded its outreach through social media platforms and a newly established communication forum. This forum brings together SAPS, IPID, and other partners to improve coordination of safety messaging, feedback loops between communities, and oversight institutions. Thanks, Nicolette. We can scroll through the rest of the observations slowly. We then move to the recommendations. In terms of National Treasury, National Treasury in consultation with the Secretariat must provide earmarked funding for the automation of a complaints management system to enable the efficient tracking, classification, and analysis of service delivery complaints received from the public and Parliament. The committee noted that this capacity is essential to ensure that complaints falling outside the revised investigative scope of the IPID are properly captured, monitored, and addressed within the civilian oversight framework. National Treasury must consider multi-year funding allocations to support the Secretariat's expanding oversight and policy coordination, responsibilities under the ICVPS, ensuring adequate capacity for data collection, stakeholder coordination, and intergovernmental monitoring. Treasury, in consultation with the Secretariat, must undertake a comprehensive review of the department's budget allocation, with particular attention to the strengthening function central to civilian oversight of policing. The committee emphasized that the current funding levels limit the Secretariat's capacity to conduct integrated, evidence-based research, policy development, and oversight, and that the overall allocation must be enhanced to ensure that institutional effectiveness and independence required to fulfill its constitutional mandate. In terms of recommendations to the department, the CSPS must strengthen its civilian and oversight model by clarifying roles, mandates, and communication channels with SAPS, IPID, and the other JCPS departments, ensuring cooperative and coordinated accountability. The Secretariat must conduct and submit to Parliament quarterly oversight assessments of SAPS performance and expenditure, reflecting not only target achievement, but also impact, compliance, and systemic weaknesses. The CSPS should accelerate the implementation and institutionalization of the ICBPS, ensuring alignment with local safety initiatives and consistent reporting through the JCPS cluster. The Secretariat must complete and operationalize the automated complaints management system once funding is secured, ensuring that public complaints, including those redirected from IPID, are tracked, analysed and reported to Parliament. The Secretariat must expedite the review and amendment of the Civilian Secretariat Police Service Act 2011 to strengthen the enforceability of its oversight recommendations and enhance accountability within SAPS and with the related entities. The committee requests that the department report to Parliament within 6 months of tabling this report on the progress made in implementing the recommendations contained herein. Colleagues, that includes the recommendations and observations. Can we consider the report?
Greetings, Chair and members. We support the report as the ANC. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Muela. Honourable Schikkerling.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you for the very detailed report. We reserve our right. Thank you.
Thank you. Honourable Ghana.
Thanks, Chair. It's the report can go.
Thank you, Honourable Ghana. You're a man of few words. Thank you. Colleagues, that is then, we then conclude the CSPS report as well. We can then move to the report on the South African Police Service. This report is obviously significantly longer. I'm going to do it in the same way if it suits you, but the recommendations are quite lengthy compared to the rest, so please bear with me. I'm going to try and complete the recommendations before the Honourable Ghana has to leave us at 9:30 in order for us to get everyone's input. In terms of observations, again, just the first paragraph, members expressed serious concern about the continued stagnation in SAPS's audit outcomes. Despite repeated audit findings and corrective action commitments, there has been little measurable progress. Committee questioned whether this lack of improvement stemmed from inadequate leadership, skill shortages, or a broader culture of disregard for compliance and accountability. Members noted that weak leadership at all levels directly undermines organizational discipline, performance, and accountability. The committee highlighted that a decisive professional leadership approach is required to address long-standing governance failures and embed a culture of consequence management. Thanks, Nicolette. In terms of the recommendations, we start with Treasury again, in consultation with SAPS and the DPWI, establish a ring-fenced capital and maintenance fund for FSLs, and other critical police infrastructure. The purpose is to ensure predictable funding for refurbishment, reduce dependence on DPWI, and improve accountability for facility upkeep. Provide targeted infrastructure support to address rehabilitation of police training academies, living quarters, and other essential operational facilities in line with the NTDP priorities on building a capable and professional police service. Support a multi-year forensic modernization and maintenance plan within SAPS to sustain the renewal of analytical equipment, timely maintenance contract renewal, and ongoing training of forensic specialists. In 914, consider the creation of conditional grant mechanism for the implementation of the Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy, or as we earlier spoke of, the ICVPS, to strengthen provincial and municipal safety interventions in collaboration with Civilian Secretariat for Police and the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. Provide specialist procurement reform support to SAPS, including advisory assistance to address persistent irregularities and strengthen compliance with the Preferential Procurement Policy Framework Act and the 2022 Preferential Procurement Regulations, and improve ethical, transparent tender processes. In collaboration with the Office of the Chief Procurement Officer, assist SAPS to redesign and professionalize its supply chain management structure, enhancing accountability, pre-award vetting, and internal control capacity. Support SAPS in implementing cost-effective staffing and resourcing models in specialized areas such as forensic services, cybercrime, and border policing through the review of personal ceilings, funding formulas, and medium-term compensation frameworks. National Treasury should conduct a comprehensive review of SAPS's budget allocation and expenditure framework. This review must include an audit and financial analysis to determine the quantum of funds lost through irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, as well as contracts concluded in contravention of the procurement prescripts. The committee further recommends that Treasury, based on these findings, develop corrective measures and cost recovery strategies and report the outcomes to Parliament within the agreed timeframe. And then in terms of recommendations to the department, all major structural and operational decisions, such as the establishment, reconfiguration, or closure of specialized task teams, such as the PKTT, must be communicated to Parliament in advance and in writing, with supporting rationale, legal authority, and assessment of operational impact. The National Commissioner must strengthen leadership accountability and internal controls to address recurring findings relating to performance reporting, compliance, and financial management. Staff must provide biannual reports to Parliament on remedial actions taken on material irregularities, including forensic backlogs, 111 call centers, unlawful detentions, and ICT contracts. And report progress on recovery of losses in collaboration with the SIU, DPCI, and the Office of the State Attorney. SAPS must finalize and implement a comprehensive procurement reform plan to address non-compliance, irregular bid evaluation, and conflict of interest management within the SCM. The internal audit function must pre-vet all high-value tenders before award to prevent irregular expenditure and ensure compliance with Treasury regulations. A detailed report must be tabled to Parliament on contract under investigation or review, including the Medicare 24 contract, with updates on disciplinary, criminal, and recovery actions. SAPS must enforce pre-award vetting of service providers through the National Treasury Central Supply Database and ensure all bid committees members and SEM officials receive accredited refresher training on the PPPFA and 2022 Preferential Procurement Regulations. The committee recommends that all the South African Police Service expedite the implementation of comprehensive lifestyle audits for all senior management members and officials within the SEM environment. The committee noted that the National Commissioner's indication to the ad hoc committee that the Special Investigation Unit, or SIU, would be engaged to conduct these audits, and therefore recommends that this process be urgently operationalized and that a formal service level agreement be concluded between SAPS and the SIU to ensure independence, transparency, and accountability in the execution of the audits. SAPS and the MPA must develop a joint performance framework, ensuring that Operation Shanela cases are prioritized for prosecution. SAPS must ensure transparency, accuracy, and regular publication of verified crime statistics. SAPS must finalize and implement a comprehensive plan for FSLs addressing staffing shortages, skills development, maintenance backlogs, and infrastructure renewal. A specialized SCM capacity must be established within the FSL environment to expedite contract renewal for analytical instruments and prevent service interruptions. SAPS must accelerate the rollout of ICDMS Phase 2 and related IJS modules, IPM, SOA, SIBUS, ensuring full digitization of case management and elimination of deal systems like CAS and ICDMS. SAPS must implement compulsory ICDMS training and utilization monitoring for the department to assure consistent adoption. The department must address network and infrastructure deficiencies. SAPS must provide quarterly progress reports on ICT modernization. SAPS must submit comprehensive fleet management plan addressing the high vehicle unavailability rate. It is approximately 15%, according to them. Delays in boarding and measures to improve operational readiness. SAPS and the DPWI should progressively devolve maintenance responsibilities for police stations to SAPS, supported by the dedicated facilities management unit and clear funding transfers. SAPS must provide a national assessment of the air wing, including aircraft serviceability, pilot shortages, and deployment of drones for operational efficiency. SAPS must improve infrastructure and living conditions at training academies and living quarters of police members. SAPS, in consultation with the CSPS and IPID, must review and strengthen operational command protocols to ensure that all officers engaged in public operations are visibly identifiable and that the use of balaclavas or other face covering is strictly regulated and authorized only under exceptional circumstances. The committee recommends that the South African Police Service submit a comprehensive report providing a breakdown of all current active task teams operating across the country. You can scroll down. The committee requests that the department report to Parliament within 6 months of tabling of this report and the progress made in implementing the recommendations contained herein. Then conclude the report, colleagues. And consider the report. Honourable Schikkerling.
Thank you very much once again for a very detailed report, Chairperson. I think it definitely captures everything that was said that day. We reserve our right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Schikkerling.
Thank you, Chair. We have went through the report and we support the content. Thank you very much. The NC support.
Thank you, Honourable Muela. Honourable Ghana.
Thanks, Chair. Generally support. I think one of the points that you might have, it's a small point around the infighting in the police. There has to be at least a bit of a reflection on the infighting that's currently happening at amongst the police. But generally happy with the report. I thought that came out quite strongly, and I think we need to reflect on that.
Thank you, Honourable Ghana. I agree with you. I think it's a very valid point. Any of the other members that would like to add or say anything? Honourable Schikkerling, your hand is up, but is it a legacy hand?
My apologies, Chairperson. It's a legacy hand.
No problem. Honourable Kola Barnard.
Thank you. I just wanted to raise, I don't think anyone on this committee understands how lucky they are to have Nicolette. I cannot believe that she's managed to do all of this and handle the ad hoc committee admin. It is absolutely extraordinary. And over the many years we've worked together, I find her reports are always pretty much flawless. So there's no huge rewriting that has to be done, etc. So I just want to deliberately give a very, very big thank you to her. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Kola Barnard. Yeah, I think it should actually be an agenda point. I don't know how Nicolette managed to pull this off so quickly and the quality of the reports. So Nicolette, thank you to you. think all the members are in agreement. A bit of a miracle worker, so thank you. Colleagues, we've reached the end of the agenda. I don't know if there's anything you would like to add. I know there are members that are traveling to other committees. I know it's the ad hoc committee that's continuing. Please keep an eye out for any further meeting notices. There is a joint meeting that we have been invited to by the Home Affairs Committee regarding the BMA. We will share that as soon as we can as well. But if there is anything else, we will keep you posted. Good luck to everyone. Let me give one last opportunity if there's anything anyone would like to add. Not today. Thank you very much for everyone. We then complete or finish this process and this meeting. The meeting is adjourned and closed.
Thank you, Chairperson. Have a good day.
Thank you, Chair. Have a good day, and the members.
Bye-bye.